Welcome back to CNBC's Worldwide Exchange. The Apple faithful were out in full force last night, waiting for hours and hours to get their hands on one of the latest must-have devices. I don't need to tell you, it's the Apple 4, iPhone 4. But is it worth all of this hoopla? Look at this. Look at these lines spanning for hours and hours. Dan Fromer, deputy editor at the Business Insider. You were in one of those lines.
I was for 6 hours.
Oh my God. Was it worth it?
It was here. So let's show the phone here. Beautiful screen, you know, very fast, great camera. Was it worth it? Good question. It seemed like the first half of the line lasted about 1 hour, and then the second half of the line lasted about 5 hours. So every hour past, you go, why am I still here? But you know,
it was for one of those, and this is the old one. This is mine. This is. The white one, though, they're having problems with this white case. They're having some other issues, antenna issues.
Yeah, they're having a strange amount of problems, at least in Apple's case. The white iPhone is missing. They say they're having some trouble making it, you know, as quickly as they thought they'd be able to. So it's not going to happen until the second half of July. Then there's this supposedly a problem if you hold it in your left hand. Actually, if you're right-handed, want to have your right hand free, and you want to hold the phone with your left hand. Supposedly, the wireless signal goes down, and a phone call would be less reliable. And Steve Jobs actually emailed someone yesterday and basically said, quit holding it the wrong way, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, great, Steve. Thanks.
I don't know if that's the answer, but seriously, this is part of some other issues that the iPhone is having, and this is coming at the same time as RIM yesterday.
That's right. RIM, in line in some areas, missed in others. Profit looked good, but revenue, device shipments, new subscribers, all below estimates. And the question there is, can RIM get with the picture and get with the program and look at Android and Apple? They all are very focused on apps. They have much better software than RIM. Can RIM actually, you know, yesterday the co-CEO promised a quantum leap over everything on the market later this year with their new platform. So we'll see.
Including the iPhone.
But the thing is, if RIM doesn't do something, if they don't have a great new platform and especially an amazing web browser, they're going to be, you know, the low-end smartphone. They're going to be the junk phone that people buy for 25 bucks instead of this thing, which people wait 6 hours in line for.
Like you. James wants to jump in from London.
Dan, I'm very interested. You're talking obviously very much about the great US brands in the game, and I wonder what your take was on the Taiwanese upstarts who are very keen to grab a big chunk of the market.
Well, HTC, of course, comes to mind, and they're doing a great job with Google phones. Arguably, the second best phone on the market would be the Nexus 1 or the HTC Incredible, which is basically the same phone on different carriers. And also, even here in the U.S., Motorola is doing a pretty good job with Google-based phones. But certainly, I think HTC is the company to watch after Apple these days. That's why Apple sued them. And I think that if anyone's going to make a good Google tablet to rival the iPad, it could be HTC.
What do you guys think, James? So, did you like it? Ross, did you like the new iPhone that we just held up?
We were talking about this off air, and I have to say that I primarily use the mobile device for email only, and therefore I'm a BlackBerry fan. And Ross and I were speculating that this is perhaps a generational issue, that we didn't grow up with the wealth and breadth of applications that mobile telephony now provides, and that really the main market in terms of the profile of buyers, we suspect will be sub 30 years of age. And I fear Ross and I are both north of 30.
Only just, James.
I don't know. Maybe look, I have both. I'm double BlackBerry and iPhone. What does that say about me?
Dan,
you know, I think the big question...
Equal opportunity.
Well, that's the point. You're well under 30, Nicole.
Dan, let's ask you, what is the profile of purchasers of phones? I mean, who is the typical purchaser of the iPhone 4?
Well, if you read this morning's Wall Street research, the purchaser of the iPhone 4 was someone who already had an iPhone. I think almost 80% of people in line yesterday were upgrading, according to Gene Munster of Piper, much higher than years previous. But obviously, a younger audience, maybe a more affluent audience, definitely people who are already subscribers to AT&T. They've had some trouble bringing people over from other carriers.
That's a good point.
You know, back to your earlier point, the question may not be a generational thing, but I think it's going to be what wins out, apps or the mobile web. And if apps win out, obviously Apple's in great shape. If the mobile web wins out, it's anyone's game.
Dan Frommer, always great to see you bright and early this morning, deputy editor of the Business Insider.